Gentlemen No Class is proud to be a part of the HC Universal Network. Gentlemen No Class is produced, mixed, and edited by M5 Studios.
This podcast contains explicit language and is intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions of Gentlemen No Class are strictly for comedic purposes and should not be taken literally. For instance, like this disclaimer. Now grab yourself a pint and enjoy.
And welcome to another episode of Gentlemen No Class, a podcast that when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. I'm Jake.
And I'm Rob.
I'm Evan.
I'm Chris.
And like it or not, gentle ladies and gentlemen, we are the hosts for this evening's episode. How's everyone doing?
Super.
Pretty good.
I think we're doing pretty good. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. Sorry, we're starting a couple minutes late. For anybody that was sitting there watch by us, you should not do that because we are perpetually late. So it's lucky that this show ever gets on the air.
I was just drinking a beer. They say I should not do that on the podcast. Well, we're at a brewery right now.
Yeah. So, in case anybody can't tell, let me flip to the forward-facing cam shot. So, this camera right here, we're looking. Everybody wave. So that you guys should be able to see. We are set up with our setup in the middle of Eureka Heights Brewing. Joining us tonight, Evan and Chris. We're going to talk about the brewery. We're going to talk about upcoming projects that they have going on. We're going to talk about just, I guess, whatever we feel like talking about. There's nobody else here to stop us. So. And y'all didn't tell us there was anything off limits, so we're just going to roll with that.
Whoops.
I think that so. Let's jump right into like the biggest hot topic on for the day because I've been talking about this for months. Right?
You've had some inside knowledge.
What's that?
Months. I will admit
yes. You're
that
right,
I've been dropping hint bombs on the podcast that Eureka Heights should make a hard seltzer. So as of today, announced is the Fizzy Pants hard seltzer, available in a 12-pack Rad Pack. And the boys over here were nice enough to, why don't you show us one of those lovely packages that y'all have.
Wham, bam.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So got a 12-pack here on the table and a bunch of samples that we can pour.
And they're only going to be in 12 packs. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. They're going to be in 12 packs, mixed packs, starting March 8th. So Monday, actually, they'll be in store.
Oh, start the week off right.
Yeah,
I like it.
So you guys are getting a little heads up on the crowd.
Nice. I like it. W've been dropping hint bombs that y'all need to do a seltzer. I will admit, like I did have some inside knowledge. Evan did let me know that y'all were doing that. So
damn it, Evan.
I know.
But I did not come out and say that y'all were actually doing it.
We would assume.
And I had no knowledge, and I had no knowledge of flavors either.
Flavor, yeah, because you did not sample anything.
Correct. So that being said, I did get to sample. I did have the grapefruit one about while we were setting up. I had most of a grapefruit one, and it is damn delicious.
Really refreshing.
Before we get into that, can you explain what is a seltzer? Is it a beer or is it just a
so a hard seltzer is classified as a beer if you were to look at it as on the back end in the grocery store market. It is obviously not a beer, but it is made similar to a beer. Chris, do you remember the ins and outs of that?
So they use a dextrose sugar, and it basically brings it down to like a simple syrup, essentially. And then we ferment it, and once it's in the fermenter and bright tank, we add flavoring. So grapefruit zest for that one, or kind of depending on whatever you want, you can throw it in there.
Nice. So, because I was under the impression that it was more like a malt liquor or something. I don't know.
I was too, honestly.
I'm pleading ignorance on this. I've never, obviously, I've brewed beer, but I've never made a hard seltzer. And honestly, I wasn't really into hard seltzers until I started dieting and doing keto and watching carbs and stuff like that.
Timing's perfect, if you ask me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Hold up. You knew about this. You went on a diet. Makes sense,
I think you timed this out.
I did not time it that well because I did not know about this until after I was already doing keto because I had a conversation with Evan And I was like, hey, like the new year's coming up. Like what's on the, the agenda for next year? It looks like, let's start planning ahead kind of thing. Cause, we kind of knew that, okay, vaccinations were rolling out, things were going to start opening up at some point in 2021, and we were like, let's get ahead of the game. Let's get ahead of the curve and, spitball and throw some ideas out there. Specifically Evan he had some things that he wanted to try to get thrown at Comic Palooza. So we were like, if they do Comic Palooza, if they do this, if they do that, we just had a list and we were just back and forth. If they do that, if they do that, then we could get in and we could, be part of that. Right. And I was like, hey, what y'all should do is y'all should make a hard seltzer. And he was like, don't tell anybody. But
wow, yeah,
I'm glad we're talking about this now, and I'm glad we didn't talk about this like 2 months ago where I could have lost my job.
Secret.
No. I appreciate it.
I kept the secret.
Rob didn't even tell me anything about your meetings and stuff.
We're pretty secret.
I didn't tell them that there was like an official thing happening. Okay. I just said that I think it would be cool if they did.
Is a seltzer beverage keto friendly?
It is.
Is it really?
These are
carbless.
They are two net carbs a piece.
Sweet.
So
there you go.
I'm allowed like 20 net carbs a day.
Oh, okay.
So like if I looked at my macros for today,
that's like 10 of those bad boys.
Yeah,
if my math is correct.
Nothing else for the day.
You want a good Saturday,
yes. Yeah. I mean, if I have a salad and nothing else, and then then I can drink a 12-pack of seltzers.
They are gluten-free, though, too. So for those gluten allergy individuals, this is perfect. I'm learning very quickly that I might actually have a gluten allergy.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm self-diagnosing myself, but definitely when I eat beer, I don't feel good. Or I drink beer or eat bread, I don't feel good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey.
So it could be gluten.
We may switch into the seltzer, huh?
I've already switched,
the Fizzy Pants.
I've been drinking these for 3 months.
Oh, nice.
So with the keto diet, can you have sugar? Just curious. I'm not
Somebody commented that they couldn't hear us, and I guess the mic got muted somehow. So,
okay,
that should be better now. Now everybody can hear us. So nobody heard any of what we were talking about. This is technical difficulties. This is what happens when you're bringing this show live. So what were you saying, Chris?
Is it keto diet? Can you have sugar?
You can. The goal is to keep your net carbs as low as possible. So, like I was telling Evan earlier, is it's like 70% fat, 25% protein, and 5% carbs. So and just like to give you scope, like a piece of pizza has like 24 grams of carbs in it by itself.
There's my problem.
And I can have less than that in one day. So sugars are just pure carbs.
Yeah.
And light beers are usually pretty good. They're usually like 3 carbs. Like a Miller Lite is like 3 carbs, something like that. So, a seltzer is typically along the lines of a light beer as far as like nutrition and stuff goes. But they're way better tasting. And there are some seltzers out there that are 0 carbs. So you can have, if you're worried about that, like Corona seltzers are 0 carb.
But we don't drink that here. We drink this bad.
Yeah, we're drinking. So can we crack a couple of these?
Yeah, let's try them out. Yeah,
Fizzy Pants.
You want to try the watermelon first?
I'm going to crack this watermelon.
You go ahead and drink that one yourself since you're only on seltzers right now.
All right. Why don't y'all tell us a little bit about the process of how y'all decided to come up with these flavors and what the taste testing and what were some of the rejected flavors? Because I can see that one of the things that I hate about seltzers is mango. Everybody has a mango, and they're all terrible.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So, what is it about? Like, why did y'all not do a mango? Like, what flavors did y'all go through before y'all?
Man, honestly, like we just tasted a ton of different flavors. Like it was really just a team group effort. Like we.
Holy crap!
I can't
this watermelon
imagine
one's
how many
way
times
delicious.
we tried different flavors.
That must be the job right there.
And like different amounts of like the ounces, everything. We just added more, added less of. Whatever
so what was your initial batch like? What was your initial like? Did y'all come up with like 7 flavors or one flavor?
So mango was in there. Mango was definitely a flavor. We started off. Our process in this was starting off by looking at what was out there in the market already. We obviously didn't want to, There's not a whole lot of inventiveness you can do around seltzers at this point, considering there's hundreds of different brands out there that now carry them. Mm-hmm. But we really wanted to strive to make a craft seltzer that was good and didn't taste like you were drinking rubbing alcohol mixed with some flavoring. It did taste like that at the very beginning. It was, this process going through making seltzers with a bunch of people that had never touched this product before was difficult and probably took better half of a year to kind of go through this whole thing. I mean, there were multitudes of flavors, different variants of different flavors, different flavor content, across the board. We would try and trial, 4 or 5 different flavors of the watermelon one to see how much is too much or how much is too little, and find the right balance of that. And it was our entire staff that was involved in that process. We would, sit down here and we're forced to drink all these seltzers. Forced, I say, in a good way.
Like every single day, they're like, "You want to do a seltzer tasting?" Like,
also, take a case of these seltzers home and see how they treat you for a weekend. There's a lot of just trialing.
Next time y'all do that, y'all can get us involved, and we will give you some outside feedback.
We
can be your test marketing group here.
But I'll be honest with you, we've been trying these seltzers for so long, and even these last and the final iterations of what's going out in the market, this is the first time I've tried the watermelon one in probably 2 or 3 months.
It's really, damn delicious.
It's really good.
So far I have had I had the grapefruit, and now I'm having the watermelon. And it's damn good.
It tastes like a watermelon.
Yeah, it tastes like watermelon.
It's like
probably,
real watermelon.
and I've tried a bunch of the different seltzers, and most people, they drink the seltzers. Well, most people like me that are like low carb and are drinking, they drink them because they're low carb. They're drinking them because they're there, not because they're delicious.
Right.
And I think that, this is by far one of the better ones, if not one of the best ones that I've ever had.
You're not just saying that.
And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I am a little biased. I really like everything y'all do. So, and that's why this kind of works. I feel like this is a one-sided relationship most of the time.
This I don't even drink seltzers. Yeah, if you don't mind. Pour top off daddy here. Thank you, sir. No, but it is delicious, and I don't say that word too often on.
I'm going to take that as a major compliment.
No, for sure. But no, the seltzer is really good. And what's cool about it is it looks like water. I get away with a lot of shit with this.
There's definitely variations of seltzers that are out there now, especially in the craft market. There's a lot of some of them are being filtered, and some of them are not. And we decided to go full filter and take this thing to clear. So you're going to see some out there that are just as good, but have color to them.
Oh, that's awesome. No,
really, I didn't even think about something like having a color to it. I guess I've never poured one out of a can.
It
has color.
It has color, so
you have to filter it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what water do y'all use, or is that a trade secret?
That's a good old City Houston water that we clean. We clean up pretty nicely.
Yeah. It's called an RO system, basically reverse osmosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we use for all of our beers, including seltzers, anything like that.
So let's get into, and we've talked about this the last time that Evan was on the podcast, but that was 50 episodes ago,
it's been a while
something like that. It's been a while.
More hosts then?
We had more hosts. Fucking Paul. Anyway, we're not bitter at all. No, we're not bitter at all. But I guess let's take it from the beginning. We're here. We're talking about the brewery. So let's walk us through the origins of Eureka Heights. Like, how does one go about starting a brewery? Like, how did the idea? You may not know. I mean, I guess it's kind of one of those things that you come to work here and things just keep going. You don't really ask about how things started day one, but if you know, walk us through the story.
I'm gonna let you do that. You've been here since day one.
Oh wow, nice.
All right.
He's one of the OGs.
I guess start with the owners, their backgrounds a little bit. Casey, who's our head brewer / owner, he came over from St. Arnold. He brewed one of Houston's best IPAs over there, Art Car. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that.
Oh yeah, Art Car.
He just did it all over there, and also an engineer. Rob is also an engineer with a home brewing background, and craft beer and everything. Joel. Yep. Joel Swift has a just craft beer in general.
aficionado. He
Yeah,
loves it.
just knows. You'll see him at every event around Houston. And they just met and they wanted to start a brewery and brew badass beers, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah. I think to kind of elaborate on Chris's story, they all did three come together. Casey with his background, and obviously, let's say claim to fame with his Art Car IPA. It was he came and started this with a following, because of his relationships with St. Arnold. It didn't help. It didn't hurt the situation that we played nice in the sandbox with all these breweries and didn't try to come in and steal the show, but learn from everybody. And I think those guys have built a tremendous brewery in the last. Now we're going on our 5th year.
Yeah.
Things have escalated so much in the last just even 2 years. I started here 3 years ago, and when I started here, it was half the staff. We would be off work at 3 o'clock playing pinball, and we would go home around 4:30. And now I can't get out of here past 7 o'clock most nights, and so up there working on the computer.
We apologize for that.
No, it's not for y'all.
He's a little after 7 here.
But work has progressed so much. These guys have built a mini empire going on here.
Yeah, for sure.
And all of us, I want to say, give credit to, and we're all a part of the fact that this has been a successful story, even through this pandemic. We all bounced back and figured out ways that we could sell our product, even though we couldn't be open for the first half of this thing.
Yeah.
And now that we're back open, we're still struggling there, and people are still being cautious, and that's totally fine, and we want them to be safe, and we want to be safe, and so our beer to go out front is always available, and
it's
it is
super
really
unique. I don't know if other breweries do a drive-through to go, because I don't really go to any other breweries. But every time that I come up here, it's super quick. Whoever is working, usually it's Stas is working, and so and it's just. Order, they throw it in the back of the car. It's almost a touchless thing, and then you're gone, and that was one of the unique things that I saw y'all doing during the pandemic. You talk about ways that not only to generate revenue, because that's important to keep a business going, but I think that one of the more important things is finding a way to stay relevant when you can't pull people in and have them sampling beers and keep drinking the stuff that you're drinking. Chris, I know you could probably, or Evan, you probably have the answer to this too. How many different brews did y'all make during the pandemic?
You know the exact number?
I remember we mentioned it.
It is just shy of 100.
Yeah, it was like 90.
Nice.
96, 98, something right there.
Yeah. We try to pump out 2 different beers every week.
I had a hard time keeping up with, while we
had
were
a hard time.
While we were podcasting, for the first couple of weeks, I would go on the Instagram feed and I would pull up and I would mention all the beers that y'all have out. And at one time, y'all had something like 27 beers or something like that. And I just said, I'm done. Fuck this. I said, I'm just going to tell people to go over there and hope for the best. And that's just what we're going to do. And I mean, there was just so many different. Some stuff sounded really good, and I was like, oh man, I want to go get that. And it was like the next week, it's gone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But
now,
I mean,
the mindset of that, is any of those going to be permanent, or
some of them are returning? None of them are going to be hitting the grocery store shelves except for one. I want to say one. I can't obviously tell you which one that is, but you'll probably know sooner than later.
Okay.
There is one, but most of those were what we like to do is like experimental beers. Mm-hmm. Luckily, most of them came out pretty good. We had a few that were okay, and but we were pretty proud of most of them. And those mainly just stay here in the tap room, and we'll continue. That actually transitioned to a new series we call Labs. It's a limited awesome beer series. So most of those tall boys that you'll see here, those weird flavors, are going to be under that Labs series. There's going to be a new one coming out too under that series. That we're going to do with a bunch of new hops that are not even named yet. They're just experimental hops. So kind of keep a lookout for that too.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Living the life. You guys are living the
I'm
life.
excited about that
This is the hops guy over here.
Yeah.
He's the IPA guy.
Yeah, mini boss.
we might have you in for a couple.
Oh, for sure.
tasters.
By all means, let me know.
If y'all are doing IPAs, you call Jake. You're doing stouts, you give me a call. That's where.
You missed out season, bro.
I know. Well, Tipsy Clover's here, and that's
Yeah, it is
close
here.
enough.
It is here, yeah.
Stout season's my favorite, but I like lighter beers in the summertime. Obviously, seltzers are obviously a really good way to go. I'm just now noticing that these are. Did you notice that these are 5%?
Well, that's usually what's like seltzers. They're pretty hard.
4.5, 5, yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
creep on
Surprisingly.
you, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
insane.
wouldn't
And
expect.
you won't even know how much you're drinking because it's so good, and before you know it,
It's
you're on the
delicious.
ground crawling and laughing.
Yeah,
And having a grand old time.
having a grand, yeah, exactly, having a real grand old time.
Grand old time.
So
That peach one's yours.
this peach one's mine.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're going to try this peach one now.
Okay.
I'm almost
it.
done with that can
I'm
of
mixing my
watermelon.
palate. I got my space train. Now I got my hard seltzer Fizzy Pants peach.
We may
You
have
should have
spun you into
seen-
a spiral here.
You should have seen this guy's face, Evan, when the last time. Was it the last time I came and picked up beer, or the time before that? And I ended up, I got some Space Train to bring home.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
and he didn't even, they didn't even know that it was in cans. And I sent him a picture, and he's like, "Awesome." Wait a second, is that Space Train? And I was like, yeah.
that's what I'm
And I
talking
don't think that that was one of the. I think that was one of the ones because a lot of times I'll come up here and I'll buy on top of whatever they give us for the podcast, and I think that I bought Space Train specifically because y'all
thank
would
you.
have so that y'all would have it.
Shucks.
But
Make me blush.
because I'm not going to. I mean, what am I going to say? Oh, hey, they have Space Train cans. I was up there and saw them. Wait, you didn't get any? You fucking asshole.
Wouldn't surprise me, but it's all right. You know, if you guys had a Space Train shirt, probably wouldn't fit me, but I'll wear it.
You know,
like that, you know what I mean?
I won't lie to you. It's the one brand we don't really have any merch for.
Really?
whatsoever.
That's unfortunate.
I don't know
man.
why. It's one of
I
my
don't either.
favorite
That's
logos.
Maybe? I don't know.
Light bulb. So, all right. So we talked about getting into starting a brewery and coming in, and all the brews that y'all did during the pandemic to keep going. Y'all also have done some very unique things with the brewery itself. And right before the pandemic, one of the best things I think that y'all did, and I rolled up here and saw it one day, and I was like, oh, that looks awesome, was the paint job, the paint lift that y'all did at the beginning of last year. And that was, I mean, honestly, that took y'all to a whole new level.
Made us stand out for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
It definitely, lets people know that, this is a legitimate, this is not just people operating out of a warehouse, which you are, which St. Arnold started that way. I remember years ago going and sweating my ass off in St. Arnold's warehouse off of 290.
Pop out your lawn chair there, play some games, drink some beers. I
don't even
that.
think I could stay that long. It was so hot there. So the facelift outside was great. It's too bad that the pandemic shut everything down before everybody had a chance to come in here and see that. So
Yeah.
if you're listening to that, make sure if you're listening now, come by, check it out. Check out the facelift of this thing that the place got.
I want to see y'all. Yeah.
Sure.
And-
That's the cool thing about this brewery, like the camaraderie you guys have and the humor you guys throw out there. It really touches those '90s kids and the pop, like for instance the Duff Brewery that they threw out there. You know what I mean? Like
That was awesome.
that's like class act right there. It's
Yeah.
like got Paul on his knees and about to cry. As it was, you know.
That warms my heart.
and that was another one of those things that Evan saved. Like every once in a while, Evan will save us something, and he'll. Like he saved us some of the because we didn't get a chance to get over here. The
'cause we
last
had the-
red and blue squishies.
The squishies, yeah.
We got some before it was I guess expired. 'Cause
Yeah, I
there
hope you
wasn't
guys
very much
drank
of it
those.
left.
No, we did.
We did.
No,
I wouldn't drink them now,
Nah.
but-
No,
Nothing
no.
goes to waste in the fridge.
Yeah,
I'll tell
nothing
you
goes
that.
to waste in the fridge. Somebody comes over and drinks it.
I need to hook you up with some of that Duff stuff, then, man. We have it all sitting upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
We're never going to use it again.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
I will make sure.
I
we
mean,
send
Paul
you
shouldn't have
Bio.
quit, fucking loser.
He quit at the wrong time.
Yeah,
Yeah, we love you sometimes, Paul. It's all right.
sometimes.
No,
So, and that's one of the great things that we love. Y'all have such a
Yeah.
great sense of humor. The Duff Brewery thing was
Phenomenal.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
We did Parks and Recreation this Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. What's
Yeah.
another one of my favorite
Sweetums.
shows?
Yep.
Like you guys have a shrine of Betty White here.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And like, what's going to happen? God forbid. Not God forbid.
No,
it's going to
no.
happen.
Why would you
Never.
say that?
I
Why would
never.
you even say
I
that out
mean,
loud?
Never would that ever happen.
No, but no, I mean, something, we do celebrate her every single year here. We have a birthday party for her. We do. We have. With this year, we've upgraded to 2 birthday cakes because we can't keep it in stock at all. People are eating that birthday cake like crazy.
Yeah.
We have a beer in her honor. We have all kinds of stuff. I mean,
Right now we do.
we actually still have it, don't we? Yeah. what's it
Rosen
called?
Island.
Rosen Island.
Rosen Island?
Rosen Island. Rosen Island.
However you want to pronounce it.
I don't know the last name.
Let's drink this peach one, guys.
Yeah, I already been sampling.
Oh, you already dipped
I'm
into it?
was I supposed to wait? I'm sorry.
Well, I was killing the
manners.
watermelon. So.
That tastes like chewing into a peach.
I feel like I'm in Georgia right now.
I know. Take me to Georgia.
It's like a nice tart finish on the end of that.
It does have a
Yeah,
nice
okay.
tart finish on it, and they do have a little bit of tartness on the end of them, but it's because it's more dry than sweet, and actually, I kind of like that. Most of the other seltzers that I've had, at least, are when you drink it, like it tastes like a LaCroix.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where like you had some carbonated water set next to a cup of strawberries for a couple of days, and like that's what the water tastes like now. Like it doesn't really have like the oomph. It doesn't have the balls to like
yeah.
grab
Go ahead and
onto that
say it.
flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this actually has it's not overpowering though. But it is dry, and you do get that tartness, but it doesn't linger. I like that. It's really good.
Yeah, some of them out there, you're like, oh, I thought I tasted something, but nah, never mind.
Yeah.
That was, in the process of making these things too, that was very important to us that we didn't, go over that. Like it needed to taste like a peach. It needed to taste like a watermelon.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, let's try to make it artificially taste like this. No,
Right.
We spent a lot of time, and I've drank my fair share of seltzers in this time frame to like go through this process and be able to find the right blends to make this work. And
I mean, we used everything too. Like they tried all kinds of different flavors.
oh yeah,
So what are some of the
Purees
failed
and-
flavors?
key lime.
Lime, yeah.
That one just never worked out. Mango was pretty much off the chopping block because there was obviously everybody has a mango,
Yeah.
and there's no point in recreating that wheel. So we wanted to get some flavors in there that obviously people do love, but there's some in here, oddly enough, like the peach and the strawberry, that you don't really see in a lot of.
And you would
a lot
think
of
that
packs.
strawberry would be one of those ones that you see a lot.
A lot of cherry, but not strawberry.
Yeah.
Did we try like a crazy spiced one at the beginning?
We did.
What the hell was that
I don't
one?
remember what it was. There was a pina colada one that
pina
I actually
colada
really
one.
liked.
That one
Nice.
actually turned out okay.
That one was really good. I don't know what happened to pina colada one. Maybe it'll come back. Who knows?
Casey
Yeah.
was into that one, I remember.
I didn't know.
So what are the 4 flavors? We talked about watermelon, peach, strawberry,
And grapefruit.
And grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
Yeah.
I can't forget the grapefruit.
Grapefruit is that kind of like, I feel like grapefruit is the flavor that might have started the whole seltzer,
Okay.
hard seltzer game. Because I feel like there's not a single line that doesn't have a grapefruit in it.
Really? Because I've never had a grapefruit hard
You're
seltzer.
kidding
Really?
me,
Really?
man. Have you had White Claw?
No, I've never had a White Claw.
Okay.
Maybe that's why
It's
I've
like,
never had
you're
a grapefruit seltzer.
heavy hitters.
Stick with ours. Ours
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I've had Shiners. I've had the Corona ones. Obviously,
Truly?
I've had Trulies. I've had some Vizzies.
What's the one that Tracy, your
Oh,
friend?
Tracy, man,
They're
Tracy,
pounds.
dude, those Vizzies, dude.
Oh, sorry.
So a couple of episodes ago, I guess it was more than a couple episodes ago, but it was my buddy Tracy came on. And he's a tattoo artist over in Montrose, and we had a grand old time. And Tracy's a big dude. He's probably 6'3".
Oh, he's tall, yeah.
He probably weighs the same as I do, but he's 6'3".
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's a big dude, Viking beard, long hair. You know what I mean? And he's he was hitting the seltzers pretty hard that night. I'm pretty sure he killed 16 seltzers in the course of our hour and a half, 2-hour podcast. That was a little bit before, a little bit after. But yeah, he put those fucking things down like they were going out of style.
That's the beauty thing about seltzers, though. Like,
Kind of made me
kinda-
scared of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're a little too easy drinking.
They really are.
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
or fortunate if depending on what side of the fence you're on.
Exactly,
Yeah,
depending on
true.
what side of the
that's
fence
true.
you're on.
That's true. My wife would love these. I know that because she doesn't like the taste of beer, and I think she tried the White Claw.
Yeah.
But I mean, these have a lot.
Wait
of
till we get to the
punch.
strawberry.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that one
I
is my
was
favorite.
Pleasantly surprised by strawberry.
Yeah, I may have to walk out of here with a couple of 12 packs, so I don't have to drive back over here.
Did everybody see that on camera?
Even though the camera was over here.
Oh, sweet.
I saw it.
We'll make sure we switch over so people can see that. Yeah, I mean, my dad lives,
Close.
2 or 3 blocks
Yeah.
over, and he loves you guys and comes and picks up beer all the time. And he's like, oh, I got this beer, and you got to try it. And so, like, for my birthday, he had a couple of beers that are out of the rotation already. And I told him, I was like, I'm not really drinking beer right now because I'm trying to stick pretty hard and fast in my diet. But I had some people over to the house on Saturday for a crawfish boil, just a couple of, family, stuff like that. And, like, we brought those over, and I was like, if I hit 50 pounds lost by my birthday, like, that's going to be my goal. I'll have a beer. I'll have a whole beer. So, like, he brought the beers over, but we forgot that he had them there because I was drinking seltzers, but I wasn't drinking beers, and we had some fiasco with the crawfish. We actually killed a whole batch of crawfish.
Oh.
Wasn't that what you're supposed to do?
No, on accident we killed him.
okay.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
leave
that
it
after
to Rob.
Them out.
well, I'm pretty sure that after the freeze, like, they're running extra chlorine through the water, and while we were flushing them, they all basically died, like, just sitting in the fresh water.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So we didn't know that. So if you're planning on cooking crawfish,
Don't let Rob
don't let
run your
me
ship.
come over and cook your crawfish. But
or start the live podcast.
you may not want to.
to.
You may want to test your water or treat your water for chlorine or something beforehand.
I don't know about
Just
that chlorine
saying.
thing. That's interesting.
Yeah,
It's still in there?
I think so. Not real sure.
You smelled it? Smell like a swimming pool?
That's a fair point. I haven't smelled it, so maybe
Ours
wrong.
had a nice little fishy smell to it after the whole thing blew over, and for like 2 days it smelled like fish in the water.
But you're in the city of Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're way out in sticks. So
Not the water we brew with, by the way.
Absolutely.
I just want to be clear.
That water is clean AF.
I know you answered this on the last podcast,
Yeah.
but for those that probably did not hear it, how did Eureka Heights come up with its name?
Oh yeah, so that's an easy one. Our building, I guess, is structured on or around the Eureka Heights fault line, and so we just named ourselves after that. In fact, we had a gentleman come by our brewery about a year ago. He's probably in his 80s, and he came by and he brought us this like handmade poster that he did of the oil derricks that used to sit on our land. And he was like, I used to play here as a kid, and I used to make these little popsicle stick oil derricks and sell them to the construction or the workers that were here to take home to their kids as like souvenirs.
Wow.
And he's like, but now, you guys are here, and he's like, and I love your beer, so that's great, and he's like, I love that you guys preserve the name and all that. So I didn't know that when I started drinking this beer.
yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how our name, if I'm correct on that, is that pretty much right?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're like didn't they say the fault line and then there's like a railroad?
There is a rail.
Eureka
There is.
Heights Railroad.
It was a big
right?
oil. I think this area had a little bit of an oil boom.
Okay.
Don't quote me on the date, but there was a point in time.
Pre-brewery for sure.
Pre-brewery, pre all this stuff over here. But yeah, we basically just ripped our name off of the fault line, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Might as well.
It's easy.
and the
Has
heights
heights in the name too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
it's heights,
right?
and it
Perfect.
kind of lets
It's very
you
fitting.
know where you're saying.
Right.
So one of the things that I find interesting, and I don't know if it's just City of Houston or if it's all cities, and maybe I don't know if there's conventions or anything, but one thing that I found very interesting, and Evan kind of mentioned it on the last time he was on the podcast, was kind of the camaraderie and non-competitiveness that goes on within the craft beer community within our city. Mm-hmm. Now, is that happen outside of our city, or is that just, because we have so many craft breweries in Houston and everybody's just like, we're the underdogs, like it's us against, InBev and Silver Eagle and stuff?
I feel like it goes outside of our city too. Like when I see somebody from another brewery, like from another city or another state or hell another country come in, we treat them like family. Like they're doing the same thing we are. Just
They do the same thing to us. I've traveled. I mean, in the 3 years I've been here, I've traveled a lot, and now I'm kind of on this. I work for a brewery, so why not go visit a bunch of breweries when I'm in a city?
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much. You don't have to sit there and try to I work for a brewery, give me free stuff. You go in, you talk to somebody, and they generally know, especially if you're speaking the lingo and you kind of know what's going on. And they're like, "You work for a brewery?" You're like, yeah, I work for a place in Houston. Oh, no kidding. And oddly enough, most times people kind of just know. The beer nerds are nerds for a reason. And man, they you work for Eureka Heights in Houston? Yeah. How do you know this in Florida?
Is that way outside of your distribution network?
Yeah. Well, we're only in Houston, so there's no distribution outside of this city for the most. We just kind of started in Galveston and Beaumont area, but we're still small scale, and so it's crazy to me sometimes when you go visit cities and people know who you are and what brewery you came from. But and that to kind of circle all the way back, and what he said, we treat other brewery, other breweries like family here in the brewery. And when we go out, too, they do the same thing for us. And, to point on what you said, there isn't really any competitiveness. We're all in this together. Right. And if the brewery scene just in Houston and nationally doesn't kind of work together, then I feel like the craft brew scene could just easily fall off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're, people working breweries are just cool as shit. You got a pretty kick-ass job. You just get,
I don't mean to toot your own horn, but,
you know how tall you're going to walk whenever your kid brings you to, take what my dad does for a living, the day after school.
It's cool.
Brewer, I work at a brewery.
Walk in with a beer. This is what I do.
We're doing samples today, kids.
This is strawberry.
Oh, man, my dad's a badass.
But, I mean, we do. I mean, you can easily see that in a lot of the brewery collaborations that go on, not just in this city, but nationally, globally. All these breweries are working together on their own for their own benefit, but together to benefit the entire community. So I think there's that still exists. I mean, 3 years into this, I haven't seen any bad blood. Everybody's cool with each other. We get along great.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a golden rule. Don't talk trash about everybody. Everybody's trying to make a living. We're all pretty much doing the same thing too. So,
is there y'all ever? This is kind of one of those oddball questions, but do y'all ever do or have you ever talked about doing collaborations with other breweries?
We have. We've actually done it. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a few. I mean, what's the most recent one we've done? I'm trying to think.
The Nelson Nuggies.
That
was during Duff, wasn't it?
That was, yeah. Was that with
Nelson Savant, which is a hop that's kind of hard to come by. It was a pretty badass IPA that we did with Holler, Platypus,
and New Magnolia. We all did a variant of this beer together, and then we made an event around it, like a bike event, I think is what it was. Yeah. And it was during the pandemic when we had really no events going on, and so we were like, how do we do something together, benefit all the businesses, but also make sure people are safe? Well, let's do it outside. Make sure they all have to go through the drive-thrus. Yeah. And so we released a very limited series of beers across all 4 breweries. Each one had a different one, and it was like a relay almost.
Yeah, it was cool. It was all different beers, but we all used the same yeast strain. Okay. So we just transferred the yeast strain, and everybody made their own beer out of it.
Yeah.
That's
very cool.
That is real cool.
So,
same hop, I'm sorry.
Same hop.
Okay.
My bad. Nelson Savant, yeah.
So, speaking of events, y'all tried to keep up the virtual events during the pandemic, the virtual trivia, things like that. We kind of touched on 2 episodes ago. We did a Letterkenny episode, and I highlighted that my team came in and won Letterkenny trivia when it was still live here in the brewery. So that's 2 live trivia events that I've been on teams that we've won, because we won Seinfeld trivia also at one of the times that it was done. Yeah, here. So
that says a lot about you, man. That you have no life. You watch all these shows.
I did not contribute to the Seinfeld trivia. I'm just going to say that right now. That was the other guys on the team. Landrum was he dominated that. The Letterkenny trivia though, Linhart and me dominated that.
Well, that's 2 for you, man. Here at Eureka Heights, that's awesome.
That's not too bad, actually.
Yeah, that's really good.
Seinfeld's a pretty hard one. There's a lot of teams for the Seinfeld one, man.
Well, in Seinfeld,
the Seinfeld one was really hard. I felt like I couldn't hang with anybody. I didn't know any of the answers.
Eric went hard on those.
I'd say our trivia master is a savant when it comes to Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
He watches that show religiously. I go over his house. He's in a recliner just watching old episodes of Seinfeld. I'm like, bro, you got to turn this off.
That's awesome. That's great.
Wait until I leave, dude.
So what's going on with events? Let's look forward into 2021. Sure. It's the beginning of March. We're 2 months into 2021. Governor Abbott has lifted restrictions on. He's lifted the mask mandate, which we won't get into politics behind that or anything like that. We can just say that private businesses are still at their discretion to mandate masks inside as they see fit to protect their employees and their customers. So we won't get. I know that just happened today.
It's a fresh topic.
Y'all don't have an answer, so I won't put you on the spot for that. But but the big thing about that is that they lifted the restrictions of who can do business, and everything's going to be able to be open by next Wednesday, because the tap room has been open here in limited quantities because you have to operate as a restaurant, basically. So everybody's having to buy food with whatever drinks they're getting. And now that restriction will be gone.
Right.
So at the discretion of Eureka Heights, you can open to however many people you feel is safe to open to and not have to charge them food to be able to come in. And that also opens up the possibility of limited events and things like that. So now we can start getting, semi back to normal. And like I said, vaccinations should be, mostly rolled out by May. Let's call it July to make sure that everybody actually gets one, things like that.
Right.
So looking forward into 2021, what's on the books? What are we looking forward to? I kind of mentioned Comic Palooza, which I don't have any information on, but just yet. But as soon as we get some information, for anybody listening, watching, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and you'll hear information about what we're doing for Comic Palooza, and you'll have a chance to come out and win Gentlemen No Class.
We're going to do something, that's for
and
sure.
Eureka Heights swag.
Yeah.
We're going to do something.
So we had this plan for last year, and obviously Comic Palooza got canceled, but it is happening this year. So that being said, we will have something going on. For anybody that doesn't know, the last time that we did Comic Palooza was 2019.
2019.
So 2019, we did a Marvel Cinematic Universe trivia live podcast from Comic Palooza, and it was standing room only in the room. We packed the house. And it was awesome. So I'd love to do something along those lines and get pull the people in like that again. That was right after Endgame came out and everything. So obviously that was still fresh on people's minds.
More content with Mandalorian.
Yeah, now we have a lot more stuff going on. So
you guys watch your WandaVision?
Of course.
Not to change subject, because I been watching that religiously.
So
it's great.
That's we have. So in case you didn't catch our live stream Friday. The audio podcast will be live tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Time on all your favorite podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, wherever you want to download podcasts, we're there. And if we're not, you send me a message and I'll put it there. Or you can go to our website, gentlemannoclass.com, and stream it live from there. And we'll put some posts up reminding people. But we did have an episode, our last episode that we had was talking about WandaVision, and we did talk about episode 8 that aired on Friday. We all watched it before the podcast.
Oh, nice.
And then talked about it and the future of the MCU and kind of where it's going, and speculated where we think this is going to end. So you can listen to our podcast between now and Friday and see how right we were on Friday when
now I got something to do
new
tomorrow.
episode.
Check this out, yeah.
Yeah, so check that out if you can.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got a lot of Marvel stuff going on, and Jake's you're not super into the Marvel stuff.
Well, I'm more of a
DC
guy.
DC
I'm more of a DC nerd, but I mean, Think
We got
about
that
Marvel.
Zack Snyder stuff coming up.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
dude.
think the 16th. I think.
Yeah, 16th or 18th. One of those two.
Yeah, four and some change hours. Like it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I'm
With
stoked.
a cliffhanger, apparently.
I'm stoked.
Oh, really?
That's
Oh.
what Snyder's saying is a big old cliffhanger.
Oh,
at the
okay,
end.
okay.
Yeah,
well,
Snyder said it's going to be a cliffhanger because it was setting up Justice League 2, which was, he said something about, fuck, man, I'm drawing a blank. He said it was, there was a lot of references to, yeah, I'm fucking.
Was it
They're showing
the
Darkseid.
Alien
right?
Manhunt.
Darkseid,
They're
yeah.
definitely showing Darkseid.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter's supposed
Martian
to be in
Manhunter,
this,
yeah.
and there's supposed to be a 15-minute cyborg flashback sequence.
Really?
That's what I'm in it for, honestly.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Cyborg. Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah, me too.
Give that guy some action here.
Give that guy some time on screen.
But to go back to what you initially stated about your guys on the events.
Events,
Like, you got
yes.
anything on the books?
So yeah, we kind of has started to plan ahead in hopes that things will be better for us in the next few months. The first thing that for starters, we are opening back up starting this Thursday. It'll be the first Thursday we've been open in a year.
So excited.
Yeah, because this is the 1-year anniversary of our 2-week shutdown.
Yes, it sure is.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. Jesus.
And so with Thursday nights will come the return of our Laces Out Run Club. So if you're a runner, I'm not, but if you are, this is the spot for you on Thursday night. We have an in-house chef currently right now that is working on a wonderful menu for all you runners out there. Steak night this
Korean
Thursday.
steak night.
Korean steak night.
They're fucking amazing.
Probably one of his most famous steak nights.
Yeah.
Here. On top of that, starting next Thursday, we'll be doing bingo in-house. So this is a virtual event that we started during the pandemic that was deemed more popular than trivia, and now we need to bring it here and do it live.
Nice.
And so bingo will start starting next Thursday, not this Thursday, only because my scheduling has conflicts. But other than that, we'll make that a staple here at the brewery. Outside of that, we've got some pretty big staple events that are kind of being planned as we speak. Hootenanny is our ode to the rodeo, which unfortunately is not happening this year. We were planning to do this event in March to coincide with the rodeo, and then we moved it to May to coincide with the rodeo, and now we're just doing it.
Just doing it.
Just do it.
And
it's
so-
Texas. Why do you need an excuse to have a hoop man?
Good point.
And so, with that being said, it'll probably be a hybrid style event. Obviously, we're going to have to kind of like take baby steps into doing events here again. So you're going to see some of your favorites. We'll have a full barbecue cookout here. We'll have live country music. We'll have the Carney beers available. We are bringing back some of the old favorites in cans this year. So you'll be able to look for those. And then most importantly, we've got to celebrate an anniversary this year. We're hitting a milestone, 5 years of being open. And
here.
we have talked to you, sir, about your band
Yes.
playing here
Yeah,
for our anniversary.
Evan actually hit me up right before we started podcasting, and I've already confirmed for the band. I don't give a fuck what they say. I'll find another band to back me
There you
up,
go, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
No, we're in. Our band has been. We were supposed to play last year's anniversary. Obviously, that got canceled. So Eureka Heights was so generous to come out last year down to Sugarland and support Rare Disease Day, which was February 29th. Which is, that's real, special to my family, but it made a huge impact on the rare disease community. But my band played, and Evan it was kind of an audition, it was kind of a low-key gig for us. But
I only came to watch to see if you guys are good enough.
yeah, exactly. And I made my little brothers help him serve beer. Who both of them are over 21. If anybody's listening, they're my
Not them,
younger
they weren't.
brothers, not little. They're both bigger
Thank
than
you,
me,
Rob.
probably.
Yeah, wow, that's
But
been a year already.
It's
lot
been a
has
year
happened,
already,
huh?
yeah. So, we're excited about playing the anniversary because this is a big one. 5 years. That's a hell of a thing. And we're also talking about not just Comic Palooza, but we've talked about coming in and doing some specialized trivia events and games. We've done game shows here. If anybody is unaware, we've done Gentlemen No Class Double Dare here.
Dares.
Double Dares.
That was a fun.
We
That
did
was a
not,
lot
we
of
did
fun.
not want to
Dares.
get sued, so we added
There's
a
a
couple
Z
of
at the end.
Z's
There's a hard
on the end
Z
of it.
at the end of that.
What was the other game that we did? We did Jeopardy.
You host. Oh, we did. Oh, yeah. We
Houston
did do
versus Dallas.
We did
Houston versus Dallas
Trivia.
Jeopardy style.
Jeopardy style, and then we
R.I.P. Alex Trebek.
and then we hosted the hot wing eating contest,
That's true.
which was good. We had a couple people throw up, always
Yeah,
a
that
plus.
was fun putting it in.
There was a guy that threw up for like 2 hours straight.
That's what I'm talking.
dude, that's
That
the guy,
guy
yeah.
was fucking. He should have got a
He
T-shirt
threw
or
up like
something.
in between stuff on our dock right there, and I was just out there just like hosing it down.
Yeah.
Man, you should have made him hose it down.
I think his
That dude
name
couldn't
was
move.
the Punisher.
Yeah.
I think it was the Punisher.
Yeah.
I remember that. Mr. Tough Guy couldn't take those hot wings.
We'll sign him up again
Not
whenever
to-
you guys
but,
do that again in the
there
future.
were some valiant efforts on most of those contestants.
And then
I
that
was
one
like,
guy just killed it, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
he was a world.
he was like a.
He had his like food eating champion card
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. He did, like, he was a
pro
professional,
food
Like an
eater.
like-
actual professional, yeah.
Yeah, and, which I think, whatever. You get what you get when you're opening up to people like that. So,
Yes, sir. This is strawberry here.
this is the strawberry one. Yeah, we're gonna try another one while we're talking here.
so that's kind of the events that we've got going on that you guys have got going on. We can't look too far ahead because
Well, we're going
Right.
to do some more with y'all. And I know you and I have talked about, obviously, the trivia is coming into play. But I think, we talk about, maybe we do some of these, back when we're open to the public, some live podcasting to the masses. I want to, we want to do a lot more with you guys. Obviously, with Comic Palooza in play, I think the original plan last year was to do some stuff here at the brewery, some after party stuff.
Yes, Right.
And
absolutely.
some stuff with you guys there. So I think that's definitely in the cards this year. And like you said, with vaccines being rolled out, things getting a little bit more safer, I think we can see a better future starting probably in late April, early May with doing some more stuff here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that, like, speaking of doing more stuff here, I think that we're going to make kind of this that we're doing now more of a regular thing. I think this works out great. Not that we don't love Chris and Evan coming on here, but we love to get some of the other guys sitting in and tagging in and getting their opinions on stuff.
I guess
And,
our production crew in here.
Yeah,
if anybody's interested, we are looking for a producer and social media person for the podcast. Like I said in the post that I made, the pay is shit. Literally, it may actually be like shit.
It'll be all the
because
beer you
that's
can
all
drink,
we
though.
can afford. But you will have as much Eureka Heights beer as you can drink, and all the high fives you can handle. So that kind of leads me into my next thing. I didn't mean to do this, but this is a great segue. Evan, you spearheaded this whole initiative, so why don't you talk to us about, and I'm speaking out of turn, I think you did. So talk to us about the High Five Club, the High Five Society, which is an awesome idea that you guys launched. Fill us in on the details of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I am going to take full credit for that, sucker.
You absolutely should. This is your fucking baby, dude.
So I obviously, being the events manager for Eureka Heights, had a lot of downtime over this last year. And something I had kind of wanted to do since I started here was a pseudo fan club, something that I think you see at a lot of breweries, like a mug club, for instance. You get a mug, it hangs over the bar, you come in, you get a pint of beer in your mug, and it goes back over the bar. And those are great, but we're 2021, and I think that it could get a little bit more enhanced. And I come from a background of subscription ticket sales. So this is something I was very aware of and how the process worked. And so we went a little bit more digital with ours, and everything is available on your phone as far as your offers and coupons. But with your membership, basically, just in a nutshell, it's $200 a year. That's the entry-level price.
Which is nothing.
Compared to what you get, it's
nothing.
It's $450 in value if you use every benefit to its full extent. But basically, just for $200 a year, you get 3 pints in the tap room per month. You get a glass that's 20 ounces that you can use in the tap room, which is how many more ounces? 4 more ounces than you usually get.
Normal.
So there's already more savings there. You get a exclusive membership T-shirt. You get one take-home beer option a month, and that includes a crowler. It includes a 4-pack of our Lab series. It includes a 6-pack of Mini Boss.
Oh, wow.
Whatever you want, you can take it home. You can even get a barrel
pack
age.
barrel age. Yeah.
One a month.
One a month for 12 months.
You math there.
And then you get 10% off everything and anything in our tap room and drive-through. So I think, am I hitting all the buttons there? I think that's pretty much all of them.
10%, yeah.
Do you get a high five picture on a wall?
Not yet, but you
Because
get a
I think-
high five. I might need one.
I feel like that. Like once things get a little more safe, like anybody, you take a picture, high five with I don't know, maybe you get a cardboard cutout of Betty White and you can high five that.
Maybe
and
we
put that
do
on the wall.
that. Oh, there is one extra perk. So not only do you get benefits that are tangible like that, there are some other things that you're going to get over the course of a year. So we offer our High Five membership the option to buy some of our sought-after, most limited beers about 2 days before the public gets it, so they can brag online that they got the beer.
Yeah.
We've done that twice now, both with the Betty White release, and then we did it. I can't remember the last one we did, but that's been a big success. And on top of that, you get access to our events early. You can, if they're a ticketed event, you're going to be able to buy those tickets in advance. You're going to be able to get access to some of these things within the event that others aren't going to get access to, like private tastings with the owners, all this stuff. Over time, we've got a couple of things that we're still working out, but there's going to be some membership appreciation nights that we're closed to the public. You guys can come in and enjoy our beers, and we might have some food for y'all from one of our vendors or accounts that we distribute beer to. But we realize and we appreciate how much people want to engage with us, and they're willing to spend $200 off the bat to engage with us. That's a lot of money to us, and so we want to make sure that we continue that engagement and that's strong, and that they feel part of our family as much as possible. Yeah. So, and that was the whole model around the High Five Society, is just to engage with our true biggest fans the most and give them more to look forward to down the line.
That's awesome. That is great.
I mean, it's a steal, too.
It is, yeah. I mean, you all of those things that you just talked about for $200 a year. A year. I think I spend more on regular beer outside of this than $200.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? That's nothing.
I know. Keep in mind
for all that,
it's gonna. This is entry level. We wanted to make it affordable for anybody that could get in on it. It will go up next year, but for those that have signed up this year, get grandfathered in at the old rate.
Oh, nice.
There you go. That means sign up now.
Yeah, for
Anybody that's listening, sign up now. And if you're listening to the live stream of this, thank you for joining us. We had a pretty decent, audience following for a little while. We're tapering off a little bit, but the audio version of this podcast will be posted next Wednesday, I think is what we decided on.
Yeah, we're going to do
next Wednesday because our last episode will be posted this Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
So we'll have
usually
a special
2-week buffer, but
usually
we're going to make it a week
so
buffer
you'll
for
get
this
a little
one.
bit of extra Gentleman No Class content drop next week, so you only have to wait a week to get this episode online.
For sure.
And this will be kind of a special, one-off episode, things like that. So what we haven't talked about is we all cracked this strawberry Fizzy Pants.
Yeah. And I
killed it.
I made eye contact with Chris, and I was like, "Wow!"
Right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
My favorite
I was like,
flavor.
Woo!
Yeah.
I mean,
Why is nobody making strawberry seltzers?
I don't
That's
know,
interesting.
but
Wow,
y'all are
yeah.
owning the strawberry seltzer game for sure.
It is tasty.
It is
I mean,
really
honestly,
good.
everything I've ever had strawberry, whether it be a drink or
Yeah.
anything, it always tastes artificial. Nothing tastes real. It tastes like a freaking strawberry.
It tastes like strawberry.
No, it tastes like
I mean,
strawberry.
And it's not overpoweringly strawberry.
No.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things. So here's my takeaway from the Fizzy Pants line. So now that I've had all of them, I'm thankful that you guys didn't do a mango. I'm thankful you didn't do a raspberry. I'm thankful you didn't do a banana.
Banana?
Banana, I never
Yeah,
heard of
I don't
that.
even know. Is there a banana out there?
Is there?
I don't know, but
That's
like,
an odd
Sounds
flavor.
bizarre.
Like saying apple.
I know. That's what I'm
Is there
saying.
an
Like,
apple?
I'm also thinking.
apple,
I don't
maybe a sour apple.
We
That
did
may-
actually trial an apple one.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't too bad actually.
So, I'm going to pitch this live on air. I've pitched this to Evan before.
Why not?
I'm going to pitch it until somebody, the squeaky wheel gets greased. He already knows it. So, and since this is like an official Eureka Heights thing, like maybe somebody will listen to me. We've been pitching a Gentleman No Class beer here at Eureka Heights for. How long have y'all been sponsors of the podcast? 2 years now?
2 years now, yeah.
So we've been pitching this. It was an idea we came up with. We were drinking, obviously.
I wasn't there.
Evan was not there.
No.
This is
He's
something
like, I have no strings attached to this one.
If you're listening,
this is something that Paul came up with.
Yeah,
Paul
Paul.
and Raph came up with.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not attached to the name. So, I mean, it's whatever.
I mean, the name is hilarious.
The concept of it is awesome. So basically, the concept would be the working name that we had was Beluga Light, because y'all don't have a light beer, so we figured it just sounds funny.
But
Beluga
also,
Light.
I think the light was spelled like a light bulb, like Light.
Well, that's how you spell it. Only Miller Lite spells it Lite.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I did not know
Made
that.
that up.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
You don't remember
Oh.
the old commercials, no GHT?
Oh, shit. Yeah, there you go. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I think I just got that.
Thank you for not being the only one.
That's what they meant.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny now.
So my pitch for Gentleman No Class beer, because I know there's a lot of time in research and development and trying different brews, and light beers are notoriously hard to get right. So instead of trying to brew a light beer, you just call it Beluga Light. You can even call it Gentleman No Class Light. That's fine, whatever. But it's not even really a beer. It's just a label. And when you buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack, all of the labels say Gentleman No Class. It would be just like this Fizzy Pants. It would say, whatever, Gentleman No Class on there. But you don't know what's inside the can. It's just a random assortment of beers.
Like a grab bag.
It's a grab bag.
It's a mystery box.
Yeah, a mystery box. So
A loot crate.
Whatever.
No?
If y'all have enough
What the
where you're
heck
like,
it is?
we don't have enough to do a whole pallet or a whole 6-pack of these or whatever. Just put no labels on them and then send them all. You just mix them all up, send them through the canning line, and you just do a bunch of those Gentleman No Class beers.
Yeah, that
and you
seems easy
sell
enough.
them. Beluga. You do Beluga Lights. So that's my pitch. It seems, and you heard Evan. That sounds easy enough.
Evan's done packaging before. He knows.
Like,
It's a nightmare.
my office tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I'm an advocate for this. Unfortunately, I'm not the one who does this
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but I can only be a voice for y'all, and they
I
can
just
only
need to
tell me
know.
no.
I just need to know who I need to talk to make this happen.
Oh, well, the guys he talked about earlier are the ones you need to talk to.
All right.
One of them's a little
but
bit
that's-
more approachable than the other. It's going to be good. Yeah.
Just let me know what kind of cigars or whiskey they like, and I'll make this happen.
Actually, that could at least get you a meeting. It could get you a meeting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to leverage my dad, and he's a banker, like he's all that like connections and stuff.
I don't know what kind of connections he has.
He's a banker, so I mean it's
All of them.
he banks.
He networks with everybody.
He banks Buffalo
You know what I mean?
Bayou, I think.
Does he really?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know that for a fact.
What
He'll probably
bank does he
call me
work
out
for?
if he Frost.
We plug in. Did he pay for this advertisement?
He
Actually, we
brought me
bank
in.
with Frost too.
We do.
Ooh, so I will. He probably doesn't, but he might start. He may try to start get that account. So you
See what he
never
can
know.
do. See what he can do.
No, what you know, it's who you
This
know.
is
not-
just
it's not
one
what you
step
know, who
away
you
of
know.
Beluga Light.
I'm telling you, man. I'm going to
away.
exploit every
Nudge.
aspect that I can find to make this happen. It will happen.
You know, it's on air. Somebody's gonna listen in. I'm sure.
yeah, somebody's going
He
to
has
hear
a
it.
smart idea. I'm gonna steal it.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
That was not. This was not my idea. Well, no, the grab bag thing was my idea. The Beluga
Beluga
Light
Light?
name, not my idea.
like
Not
a-
not married to it. Don't really care that much.
there is one way I think you guys could at least try to get it in there. So like once a year we do these design your own label
I
contests.
tried doing that. I didn't make the
We
deadline.
tried.
Yeah, I didn't
keep
make the deadline.
trying.
Next time I'm gonna do it again.
Trying. Last year a kid won. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Lego My Lago
Yep.
Vlogger.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a 4-pack of that.
Yep. Charity money went to kids meals, which is actually a great charity right now. if you guys are looking.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's make the Gentleman No Class ones. It's a grab bag beer, and let's donate whatever percentage of the proceeds to a charity.
I think it's a fine idea. Man, just talk to these people
And we'll put it
on
on.
the show.
My band will play a concert. We'll play for free.
On the roof, like Empire Records style?
Empire Records
He
style.
dropped the Empire Records.
I might have to push
Dude,
this
did you
along.
just bring up Empire Records?
6 to midnight.
You want to talk about
Dude.
that in full? I can recite the whole movie.
I am down. I have hauled gear into weird places. We used to play Fitzgerald's when I was a teenager. I'll hire somebody to do it, but I would play on the roof.
Can you play Sugar High?
Dude.
I will learn it by.
It's not
What
hard.
was that guy's name?
Coyote Shivers.
Coyote Shivers. Yeah.
See, I know too much.
It's such a great movie, man.
It's such a good movie.
We're getting
Yeah.
into like way deep.
That's a fantastic.
We got a whole segment of podcasts ahead of us about Empire Records.
It's Empire Records. It's Rex Manning Day.
I'll dress up like Rex Manning.
You heard it here first. You
that's-
heard it here first, folks.
That is a day we're going to institute here in Eureka Heights. We're going to celebrate Rex Manning Day from here on out.
Oh, there you go.
People celebrate it on Facebook all the time.
Yeah,
so.
but they need a spot to celebrate.
Yeah.
There you go. This will be the
sure.
perfect spot. This will be the
Coming
perfect
up,
spot.
Chris, get ready.
War coming.
Guar will be here. Not Brocky, but the rest of them.
Well, yeah. Well, didn't Odorous Arungus die?
Yeah, Dave Brocky, he passed
Yeah.
away. Yeah, now it's another dude that sings. I saw him; he's great. I mean, he's a good filler for sure.
It's just like Kiss, you know. It's just about the guy.
Yeah.
It's not about the guys behind the makeup. It's the guys that are, you know. It's the character.
well, Brocky was like the whole mastermind around Guar. He was the artist of Guar, and you know his passing was rough. But you know they were able to carry on pretty well. I saw them with the new singer a couple years ago before all this crap went to hell.
really,
But Guar still kills.
Guar
have
does
it.
kill.
What else? What other bands came out of Empire Records that I feel like we need like here? As well?
Oh man, that was like pivotal '90s.
God.
That was like '96.
Yeah,
God, it's such
I mean,
so good.
man, there was what was that?
I'm not whipping out the phone. I was going to whip out the phone, but no.
You don't even. Have you ever seen Empire Records?
no.
I knew it. You've been oddly silent, so I knew you hadn't seen
no,
it.
I haven't seen it. No. I got it confused with
I feel
Cadillac
like
Records
Minor
for some
Threat
reason.
ended up in there somewhere. Just real quick.
Yeah.
beats him up in the office. There's a song playing.
Oh,
I feel like that was-
my favorite AC/DC song is in
Yes.
that movie
Okay.
when he, If You Want Blood, when he's playing along to it,
Yes.
like when Joe's pissed off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great
so
scene.
good. Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas. In the immortal words of Jim Morrison, the time to hesitate is through.
Oh man! Started with Atlantic City, and thank you, Lucas.
Don't touch my cigars, my drumsticks. Make sure you count the money twice. Oh man, classic shit. One of the things that we're pushing time here, so we'll try to wrap it up. One of the other things that I wanted to push here, we were talking about doing kind of a live trivia event instead of trying to step on. I don't want to step on Eric's toes because he's like the trivia master.
Oh, he won't let you.
But we've been trying to find a venue to host a Saved by the Bell trivia competition. Haven't we for a while?
That would be kind of cool.
This is the first I've heard of this.
Is it?
So I don't know if you know this,
yeah.
but my co-host here
I'm a diehard fan.
is a diehard,
Tear did shed when Dustin Diamond died.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
diehard Saved by the Bell
Yeah.
fan. You
Yeah.
and Dozier, y'all can go tit for tat.
Yeah,
can't you?
I think I can
Even the
hold
New
my own weight.
Year's?
Who?
Do you like the New Year's? Or you just OG
No,
Saved by
it was,
the Bell?
No, I'm not a big New Year's fan.
Fair.
The college years, not the new class.
New class. That's what I meant.
I'm not a new class guy. No.
But yeah, college years
Screech
were
was all
fine.
weirded out. Like,
Yeah,
we had
because
a
Because
janitor.
weird.
didn't he like turn into like a teacher or something in the new class?
Well, he was a janitor.
Janitor, that's what
he
it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like,
Janitor, wow.
not a big fan.
You gotta
College
make
years.
Screech someone badass. He can't read.
No, well, I
Is it
mean,
the alleged rumor
was-
that Saved by the Bell is like going to return or like?
It's
have a
already out. It's on
special-
Peacock.
Okay, there.
And Screech wasn't there. His story was like he was in space. Yeah.
Well, for the while, I guess he was, but
they were thinking about bringing him back in season 2, but that obviously never going to happen.
yeah.
see, I told you, Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
I was like, I
Well,
have no idea about
there's
any of
beef
this.
going on because he wrote that unauthorized biography and you
He
know,
did the porno and the,
he did a
the
sex
boxing
tape. It wasn't-
match.
Yeah.
And the drugs, I think, were there.
The drugs.
Yeah, he
Yeah, well, I
went
mean,
to jail
no.
for
They come
beating
with
up
it.
somebody at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, he had a rough
Thug life, you
had a
know?
rough time.
But the man is past, and it's
Yeah.
negativity around it is not necessary. I feel like
He
I
didn't
feel
clean
like
up the
there's been
wounds.
a lot of crap talking about Dustin Diamond over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There has been.
Yeah, that'd be a good 90s throwback.
You know, I'm about it. Saved by the Bell is, I feel like fits this genre pretty well over here in this environment.
Go Bayside.
Yeah. Listen to
Oh,
you.
yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, now we're spitting ideas here.
guy.
Now we're spitting ideas. Halloween.
His eyes closed and shit,
Halloween, you do Bayside High here, and then we can do a Saved by the Bell trivia that night.
We might have to, but I have to admit it's going to have to wait till 2022 because we already have Halloween planned.
All right,
I also can't tell you what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because our mystery
very excited.
mystery costumes for the brewery always have to stay a secret till
of course.
because we get
yeah,
sued.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you do it one day and nobody can say anything. But
Right.
it's already
Absolutely.
down. Send me a cease and desist.
Sure, we tore it all down, but that's how we've always operated. So far, we've been pretty good. Disney didn't come after us for The Simpsons, and
We tried to do that. We did our last episode of last year was one of our Hit Play With Us episodes, which is where we do a live movie commentary while we watch the movie. And last year during the pandemic is when we started doing the live stream setup. So we decided that last year we were going to do our last episode of the year was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the 1990s
first one.
version, the first one.
I think I watched that. I think I listened to that.
So
Yeah.
that was a great one, and
Well, YouTube flagged us.
YouTube caught us instantly and pulled it down.
YouTube
I mean,
did no
before even the live stream was over.
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, their algorithms are.
They're on it.
I got to give it to them.
They're on it.
They were
Impressive.
fucking top notch.
Well, and there's another
Did we talk
one
too much about Empire Records today that they might take this down?
Well, see, the reason that they pulled it is because we were playing the movie picture in picture.
Oh, okay.
While we were
Well, and there's
podcasting.
another one we brought in the Blink-182 episode a couple episodes ago, and this guy throws maybe about 3 seconds of I forget what it is, and it
All the
didn't
small things.
Yeah, they didn't flag us, but there's an error, like copyright warning on whenever you go.
Did
to
it
your,
really?
Yeah, whenever you
Dude,
got to log
their
in, you'll see it. But
algorithms are
they're really
fast.
good. I got to give it
Holy
to them
shit.
for sure.
It's crazy how we haven't yet been flagged for some of the stuff we've done. So
I'm sure that
just keep this on the DL.
Yeah. Well,
Erase
because-
this
because you
podcast.
guys got badass
because
ears,
we
you
have
know?
such high viewership that like this is going to catch somebody's.
You guys are the
attention.
ones getting flagged.
Wow, that's true.
Fair point.
Very true.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I mean, on that note, guys.
And on that note, I thank you guys for letting us
Fuck-
come out and do
fucking
this.
awesome, for sure.
We will obviously make this a more regular thing. It's hard getting this shit show on the road. In case anybody has wondered, like
Look at
all of this,
Look at
all of this stuff that you're seeing in this camera. With this table is normally set up in my studio, but it breaks down to store. I got to pack all this shit up and bring it out here. You know what I mean? So we can't do this every week, but if we could, we would.
Yeah.
So that being said, we would love to just, come out here all the time. But we will make this a more of a regular thing. Maybe we talked about, once a quarter or something like that.
Yeah,
Three,
for sure.
3, 4, 5 times a year or something like that.
Yeah, I think we want to do more with
special
y'all.
events and
I just want to say too, guys, thank you for being awesome. Your podcast is great. You guys have been great. We love
appreciate
y'all.
that.
Yeah. So big ups to Gentlemen No Class.
Yeah,
I
y'all's
appreciate
support
it.
is noticed. I listen to y'all's podcast, and every time y'all say anything about our beer or us, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah.
I would just like
Yeah,
to formally apologize for misquoting the address of this place multiple times before I memorized it because these assholes would put me on the spot. And I could never remember if it was 941 or 914. But for anybody who has not been here, this seems like a good chance to plug it. So, Eureka Heights, in the Heights, 941 West 18th Street, in the Heights. That's right?
Yep.
You're on it.
Got it. I'm right on it, right? Come through. The drive-thru is open 7 days a week.
Except for Monday. We just
Except for
Monday.
Mondays.
Yeah.
You just changed that.
Yeah.
Just changed that.
Just changed that. So drive-thru's closed Mondays, but check the website or Instagram or Facebook account for times. Drive-thru's open. It's super quick, painless. Way more beers than you can pick up at the store. Even though, I've seen really great displays at the stores, it doesn't touch the great shit that you can get through the drive-thru here. Friendly staff, always welcome and accommodating. Can't say enough nice things about anybody that's ever here. I've never gotten anything but great vibes
Yeah.
and
Like,
anything from anybody.
Never been a negative thing in here.
I feel like we all
For
need
sure.
a high five, like
sure.
a quad high five.
A quad high five. We could sign off
Very
with a
welcome.
quad
Yeah.
high five. So I guess we can take that on that note. Thank you guys for
Thank
putting
you.
up the Fizzy Pants and letting us sample all these great beers.
Yeah.
You guys are first to the game. Like no other media source has picked this up.
Oh, yeah?
You're the first one out.
First one.
How's that?
You like that?
It's great. No, I mean, it's
So
good stuff.
that
for
was
sure.
one of those things that our mics were on mute for the first 3 or 4 minutes of the podcast,
Sorry.
whatever. You didn't hear that we've been anticipating the hard seltzer for a while now. So I'm glad that I saw the social media post for this before we got here, and I was like, oh, this is the perfect day. I was like, we are going to get to be the first people to taste and review the Fizzy Pants hard seltzer, and I mean,
They did not disappoint. I tell
did
you
not
that.
disappoint.
They're freaking phenomenal.
As a hard seltzer fan, I'm sold.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know that there's any more of a vote of confidence that I can give than that. But anyway, thank you guys for staying late with us, Chris, Evan. We
Yeah,
really
they're awesome.
appreciate it. Thank you guys, and thanks to the rest of the brewing staff that supports everything that we do. And supports your business, and y'all come in here and bust your ass and work hard every day.
Sure.
To supply great beer to the city of Houston. We really appreciate it. On that note, I've been Rob,
I'm Jake.
I'm Evan.
Chris.
and we have been Gentlemen No Class, and we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.